What do you think about this? Is forgiveness is a weakness? And the people who forgive, are they fools? Well, let's talk about this today. Normally, in this world, the forgiveness is oftenly referred as a weakness. People say, no, you should not forgive people. You should not let go of that anger and resentment. You have to take the revenge, and you should not forgive people. Well, let me ask you, if you did not forgive people, what are you going to do? You're going to hold on to anger, no? You're going to hold on to resentment. You're going to hold on to grudges. And what all those thoughts makes you, they will make you a negative person. They will hurt your mind. They will hurt your spirituality. That is why we have to understand what is the real forgiveness. So, what is the real forgiveness? Normally, people forgive and they let go of the anger and they forget about the things that they have done. And also, in the next place, they fall into the same trap of the people who used to hurt them. So that is not the correct way of forgiving people. The real forgiveness must be there with forgiveness and also wisdom. So when the forgiveness and the wisdom combine together, then you can forgive people truly and correctly. So have to do that. So when you forgive people with wisdom, you're not saying that it is okay, you hurt me and I'm going to fall into the same trap of you, right? I will believe you again and again. That is not the way. You can forgive people. You can let go of the anger. You can forget about the hurt that they have done to you. And also still, you can stay away from their life and their negativity. Okay? That is where you combine the forgiveness and the wisdom, right? Then, if you forgive like that, if you forgive in such a way, then you will never fall into traps of those people who are going to use you. So, understand what real forgiveness is. When you forgive people, you're not forgiving them. Really, in reality, you're forgiving you, right? You're saying that, no, I'm not going to take this negativity anymore. I'm not going to hold on to this anger and resentment anymore because I love myself. I don't want to hurt myself. I always care about my spiritual development, my good qualities, and my thoughts. So when you do that, you can forgive people and stay away from their negativity and their cheatings. So that is the correct way to forgive someone. So practice this and let go of those angry thoughts and resentments in your mind. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome and welcome back to another video. Today, I want to discuss with you about how can we become peaceful and how can we become calm from our mind. Now we know that we are living in a world where we are constantly bombarded and constantly overloaded with information, with distractions and all of the chaos. So what happens when we live in such an environment is we become so reactive and we tend to lose our peacefulness, we tend to lose our calmness in our mind. And then what happens is our frustration, stress, and depression builds in. So how can we deal with this? And what can we do to eliminate these distractions and this constant chatter in our mind and have a peaceful mind in the middle of chaos? So today, I'm going to share a few tips where you can practice in your daily life. And then you can, if you practice this, it will be a great help to find peacefulness and calm in the middle of all the chaos. So the first thing that you have to understand is calmness and peacefulness is not an outer source. It doesn't come from outer world, right? It can be found within. So no matter where you live, no matter what the place you live, no matter what you do, if you really focus on this calmness, and if you're clever enough to find that, then you will be able to find the calmness and peacefulness in the middle of all the chaos. So always remember, calmness and peacefulness should be built and should be developed within. Okay? And also, you have to remember one thing, that calmness and peacefulness is not about emptying your mind, right? When you become calm and peaceful, it doesn't say that there's nothing in your mind, no thoughts in your mind, right? Thoughts may appear in your mind, right? There will be lots of thoughts, and train of thoughts will be appear in your mind. But when you become really calm and when you become serene from your mind, you tend to not to react to all those stimulations. That is what the real calmness and peacefulness means. Okay? Normally, when the thoughts appear, right? When all these kind of trains of thoughts appear in our mind, what happens to us is we oftenly react to them, right? We become panicked and we tend to react to them. So the reason why this happens is because we think that thoughts as us. And we tend to think that I am what I think and I am my thoughts. But in reality, thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts, right? Thoughts are just like, they're coming and going. It's like clouds, right? There's the sky and there's the clouds, right? So what is the nature of a cloud? It comes and it swarms around and it goes off, right? Sometimes the sky is cloudy, sometimes the sky is moody, sometimes the clouds are scattered here and there, and sometimes the sky is empty. So you are like the sky and your thoughts are like the clouds. Okay, so there's a huge distance between the sky and the clouds. But we often think that the clouds as the sky. Sometimes when it is raining, sometimes when it is moody, we blame to the sky, right? We tend to say that, oh, this weather is not okay. The sky is always raining and it's moody. But sky is not raining. Clouds are what forms the rain, right? Clouds forms the rain. So same as that, when the thoughts appear in your mind, you can take a little step back and think, should I react to this? Should I react upon these thoughts? For an example, if an angry thought came to your mind, what should you do? Just pause a little bit and think, should I react to this? You can have a little bit of a time and think about it. Oh, this is anger. I should not react to this. This is jealousy. I should not react to this. Okay? It's okay to have thoughts in your mind. But if you want to be peaceful, you should not, and you should choose to not to react to those thoughts. So there are a few practices where we can do in our daily life to bring and to make a little bit of a help to this peacefulness and calmness. One thing that you can do is that you can slow down your body movement for a little time period of the day. Maybe like when you have time and when you're working by yourself, maybe like you're walking, maybe like you're writing something, or maybe like you're studying. Try to maintain slow body movements. Now, why I say this? Because our body and our mind is highly interconnected. Okay? When our thoughts become panicked, our body become panicked. So in the other way, if we calm down and if we slow down our bodily movements, it will be a great help for us to slow down the thought process. Then you can take a little time and think about what comes to your mind. That is one thing that you can do. And also there's another great practice that Buddha told us to do, that is called breathing meditation. When you do the breathing meditation, you reduce these heavy loads of thoughts into two thoughts, in breath and out breath. In breathing meditation, all what we are doing is we are constantly becoming aware of in breath and out breath. When you do that, it's sort of like condensing your mind. It's sort of like making your mind soft and peaceful and non-reactive. That is what you can do. And also there's another thing that you can do is to not to judge your thoughts and to be aware of your thoughts. I will give you an example. It's like you're watching a traffic pass by the side of the road, right? You can see cars and bikes and vans and buses are going, but you're not going to judge them. You're not going to stop them. You're not going to chase behind them. You sit by the road and you just watch them. Let the vehicles be the vehicles and you be you. In the same way, let the thoughts be the thoughts and you be you. When you become less reactive to your thoughts, you can find that peacefulness and calmness in your mind. So I hope you got some light about the calmness and peacefulness from this video. So I hope may all of you be well and happy, and may all of you be calm and peaceful forever. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. In today's video, I'm going to discuss with you about 4 signs of a good-hearted friend. Now, it is very difficult to find a good friend in this society, right? As social beings, right, we need people around us. We need people to help us, right? We cannot live in this world alone. So that is why it is very important to have a good-hearted and a good friend to us. So Buddha said, if you have a good-hearted friend, it is a blessing to your life. Okay, so Buddha shared with us that there are 4 signs of a good-hearted friend. There are 4 signs of a good-hearted friend. So I'm going to discuss with you about these 4 signs in this video. Before starting this video, I want to share with you that a friendship is not always a one-sided thing, right? You cannot expect your friends to be nice to you or pleasant to you or helpful to you while you are not helping them, right? You cannot expect them to be nice while you are not becoming nice to them. So let's get into the first sign. The Buddha said a good-hearted friend is a good helper, right? He's willing to help you at any time in the life. Okay? And also Buddha said that he keeps eye on your life and your possessions. He don't like for you to find the misfortune, right? So he keeps eye on you when you are negligent and when you don't care about yourself and your possessions. He's always tried to protect them and protect yourself. So that is what you call a good helper. So this is the first sign of a good-hearted friend. And the second sign, the Buddha said, a good-hearted friend is a friend who is in the good time and the bad time both, right? There are many friends around us when we have money and when we have possessions with us, when we don't find our misfortunes in life, right? When we don't have any problems. But you can identify and you can recognize the true friends or real friends when you face problems in your life, right? When you face problems and when you go through tough times in your life, if there are friends around you who is willing to help you, who is willing to give you a helping hand, then he is a good friend in both good and bad times. So Buddha said, this is the sign of a good friend. He is a friend of you in your good time and bad time both. And the third sign is, the Buddha said, he's a good counselor, right? He guides you to the correct path. He shows you the correct things to do, right? He guides you to do good things, not evil things. Whenever your friend finds that you're doing bad things, he always comes to you and say, no, you should not do this. It is not good. It is not good for you and it is not good for others. So please stay away from these things. He will guide you to the good path. And also when you face problems, right? When you face difficult situations in your life, you can go and talk with them and you can heal your heart. Okay, so that is a friend who is called a good counselor. And the final quality that these good-hearted friends have is he is very compassionate towards you, right? He does not enjoy your misfortune. He or she doesn't like to see that you are falling into troubles and going through tough times. So he comes to you in those times and he or she always helps to you, right? They are willing to help you. That is a friend who is called a compassionate friend. Now, these are the 4 signs that you're having a good-hearted friend. But always remember, you may not find a friend who has all these 4 qualities, right? If you can find, then congratulations, you are very lucky. But you may not find a good friend who has all these qualities. But you can find maybe like 1 or 2 of these qualities in friends around you. So what you have to do is you have to be with them, you have to help them, you have to give your love and compassion towards them. Then you will receive that love and compassion back. Okay? So these are the 4 signs of a good-hearted friend. Okay? So if you could not find a good-hearted friend, then what you can do? Well, then the Buddha said, if you did not find a good friend in your life, be a good friend towards others. Be a good friend to other people. Then, according to the law of this world, you will receive good things back. So, these are the 4 signs that you're having a good-hearted friend. So, keep them in your mind and be with good people around you. Namo Buddhaya. Once in the Buddha's time, there lived a woman named Kisa Gautami. She had a son whom she loved with all of her life. But unfortunately, one day her son died because of an incurable disease. Kisa was so sad she did not want to accept her son's death. So she carried her son's body all around the village, finding if anyone could bring her son back to life. At first, people tried to help her. They said, Kisa, you have to accept your son's death. You have to make some arrangement for his funeral. But Kisa wasn't ready to accept her son's death. She said, no, he's not dead. The only reason he's not talking and he's not smiling is because he has a disease. So she wasn't ready to accept it. So she went from one village to another, finding if anyone could bring her son back to life. Then she met with this old and wise man. And this wise man said, Kisa, I cannot help you in this situation. I cannot help you in this problem. But I know one person who could help you. Do you see that monastery over there? You go to that monastery and you meet the Buddha. Maybe he can help you in this situation. So Kisa ran to the monastery and fell in front of the Buddha and begged and said, Oh my Lord, my son has fallen sick. He's not talking. He's not smiling like early. Please, cure my son's disease. Then the Buddha listened to Kisa's tragic story and said, Kisa, I can help you. Kisa was delighted to hear that. Then Kisa said, Oh Lord, what should I do? Tell me anything, I will do it for this. Then the Buddha said, Kisa, you need to find a medicine for your son. Go and find a handful of mustard from a family where no one has ever died. Kisa thought that this was easy to find. So she ran to the village and went to the first house and said, I need a handful of mustard from you. Please give it to me. By the way, has anyone died in this family? Then people said, Oh, I'm sorry. My father died yesterday. Then she went to the next house. The reply was, My son died last year. Then she went to the next house. Then they said, Oh, my uncle died yesterday. This was the reply that all she got from every house. Then she started to think, every time I go to a house, I heard this word, death, died, he left us, he passed away. Maybe death is a common experience for all of us. Maybe I cannot take my son's life back to normal. Then she went to the Buddha. Then the Buddha said, Kisa, you've learned a valuable lesson today. Death is a common experience for all of us. The only thing that we can do is only to accept it. So, you have to live your life in a meaningful way. Now let go of your sorrow and sadness. So Kisa let go of her sorrow and sadness, and she started to live a meaningful life from that day onwards. She had a new understanding about the death and life from that day onwards. So we all have to remember that death is a natural part of life, and losing loved ones is a natural part of life. We all have to go through loss and grief of our loved ones at some points in our life. That is the reality of this world. We cannot deny it. But we can do something better to make us feel better. That is to cherish the memories of our loved ones when they lived with us. Okay? So when we do that, we can find the peace and we can move forward with hope and gratitude. So let's live our life in a meaningful way about the death and life. Namo Buddhaya.